Okay, Burly Girlies.
Yeah.
Hi.
Welcome to Are You Okay? We've been DMing for many months.
Yeah.
I've been trying to get you guys on for a while. Hasn't
Yeah.
happened. It's happening now.
So excited.
I'm
yes.
really, really excited. I feel like I've been like watching you guys from afar for a really long time. Really happy that you're here.
Thank you.
If we, and by we I mean if I seem stressed, it's because we just spent 17 minutes trying to figure out how to get us recording, but it's
Yeah.
happening, hopefully, or this isn't recording and we're calling it a day. Do you guys,
Or it's just like a warm up. And then we do it all
yeah,
over again.
yeah, and then it'll just give us another excuse to, I don't know,
Like hang out, yeah.
and,
Yeah.
you know,
And use these cool mics.
again, right. Okay, do you guys want to introduce yourselves?
Yes.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. I'm Ray. I play guitar in Burly Girlies. I don't know. That's what I do. I
Yeah.
write songs. I've been performing for most of my life, like in any way. I'm a Leo, so
Love that. Yeah, zodiacs.
I love being on stage.
We should try to guess her zodiac.
Yes, we would.
Oh,
We'll
this is
definitely
so
do
well.
that.
You guys just got a terrible representation of who
No, it's giving problem solver.
I can rule some out based
It's
off
giving
of the
problem
experience so
solver.
far. But,
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
yeah, I don't know. Yeah, that's me.
Yeah, I'm Morgan. I play bass for Burly Girlies. I didn't grow up performing. I grew up painting and making art, visual art in that way, and I still do. But I started playing bass for the band because Ray was like, I want to start a band. And I was like, okay, cool. And she was like, okay, you have to learn an instrument. And I was like, oh,
What?
yeah, oh, effort.
Yeah.
It's like, I swear. And I was like, I guess. And then, yeah.
And our third member, our drummer who's not here today, is Emmy.
Yeah.
And we found them on Instagram.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
They
and we
are
got very
the
lucky.
best.
They're the coolest person in the
They're
world
so
and
cool.
also conveniently the best
Yeah.
drummer in the world.
Oh,
too.
and I'm a Cancer.
Okay.
And Emmett is also a Cancer.
Okay, this is good. This is already getting into like I wanna explore the origin story, if you
Yeah,
will.
Sure.
I love
Okay, before you guys guess my sign, which I don't know if you will because I'm a cusper. That's like already.
That's important.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Interesting.
But before I start any interview, my show is called Are You Okay? And I always like to start by asking the people I interview if you guys are okay.
This is so funny because I've listened to your interviews before and I
Yeah.
know that you asked that question and I've thought about it before, like how would I answer it? And I totally forgot that you were gonna ask it when I actually got here for the interview.
okay.
So I don't know. Are you okay, Morgan? She's like rarely okay.
I'm literally a Cancer. I'm never okay. No, I'm okay. The only qualm I have is that I got a new kitty recently, a little kitten, and she has been scratching me a lot in my sleep in terms of like love. I think she's trying to do it out of like love and play, but
Sure.
it's been hurting. So that's not really been okay. But overall, yeah, I'm okay.
Okay, I feel like that's like a solid representation of my life this
Yeah.
week. It's like really trying to love and it's just hurting.
Yeah,
very
it's just kind of
badly.
like everything's okay. There's just this little tiny being that is
but,
scratching me and biting me, but you know, it's really cute. So
Yeah.
she's, you know.
And like, how could you be mad at a?
I get mad.
You're like, she's done going up for Craigslist
It's
ad
kind of like
already.
you kind of just have to. It's all about taking a deep breath.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
realizing that it's a 2-pound little baby.
Yeah.
That's just trying to love.
Sure, that's a good lesson.
Yeah.
I guess. Good. Okay.
I'm pretty okay. I think I'm a little anxious today for no particular reason, but my baseline in general lately has been, I'd say, like a step above okay.
Yeah, same.
Like pretty good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, we love it. It's summertime.
Yeah.
Hell
exciting
yeah.
things.
Yeah.
It's been like nice out.
Yeah. Okay. So, what do you think my star sign is?
Oh God.
Right.
This is never happened.
Okay,
to
me and Ray guess people's signs literally all the time, and
Yeah.
our rule is like between the three of us, can we have 3 guesses?
Yeah.
And can we ask like questions?
Do you guys want a hint? Oh, you can ask questions. That's a good way.
Like a few
I
questions.
will say I never really get clocked as what I am, but this is gonna maybe be a big hit, I don't know, but part of my job is like I speak to people on the phone sometimes, and I speak to like the Vermont public, not for this job, for a different job, and I was talking on the phone with someone and they were like, okay, and then said my star sign after, but in like a kind of like a
like condescending.
it
like
wasn't a
negative way.
bad way. It was like I clocked you, bitch.
Oh.
Like, it was in a in a
Okay.
clocked way.
Right.
Like
Okay.
I didn't know how to respond type of way.
I have a guess.
Okay. Yeah, I have a guess as well.
You said you were a cusper, so I guess this is kind of like, I'm going to say 2.
Okay. Sure.
I think you're like a Leo Virgo cusper.
Okay.
I'm going to go Libra.
Okay.
Libra what? Cusp.
On which end of it? One, what is the one?
It goes Virgo, Libra, Scorpio.
Okay, Virgo, Libra, because I was also feeling Virgo a little bit too.
Yeah, I just feel like you look like put together, and I feel like you are like you're like you were worried that like when things weren't going like exactly as planned earlier, and like we were like it was totally fine, but like and you got like nervous, and I feel that too. I'm a Virgo rising, so I feel that like anxiety, but you might not be a Virgo, and I might be completely wrong. Yeah. So I don't know.
I'm going based off strictly vibes, which is Libra, and I can't explain
Virgo,
why.
But I don't know.
That's my guess.
Yeah. You clocked me. I'm a Virgo, but I'm an August Virgo.
Okay, cool. Yeah. What's your birthday? Like the 21st or something?
The 27th of August.
Oh, okay.
Totally.
Approaching. Okay.
Oh my God, nice.
So you guys clocked me.
This
so
is,
I am.
Yeah,
nice.
that makes total sense.
People also
I'm so
say
happy. This is literally like on record that I got it right.
Like I always say like, oh, I'm also I like quasi like astrology, but I'm not like in it.
I'm
right?
actually around in that area too.
Okay.
I think I like maybe a little bit more than the average person, but I'm learning more.
I'm
it's
probably
just,
like
fun. It's just I don't
so
it's just
fun.
like a fun like get to know you. It's just like something to
I like
talk
that
about.
it makes men angry.
Yeah, and I don't understand like when your reaction to like can I guess your zodiac sign tells me so much more about you than your zodiac sign.
Yeah,
like
totally.
I don't know. It
I'm like
immediately
excited. I'm like always get like
I love that.
And then you get to like know people automatically
because
they're like, yeah, that's totally accurate. They're like, not at all.
Yeah, I
so
agree.
Fun.
Because I'm an August Virgo, and I feel like, well, now I'm going to try to explain my Virgo away, which I think is maybe what Virgos do. So like now I feel very insecure about it, but I am like not a organized or clean person. Well, not clean does not sound good, but I'm like a very loose, like go with the flow. Typically, I feel like now my friends are going to be listening to me and being like, you are not right, bitch. You are not easygoing. But I'm like pretty relaxed generally, and I feel like everything that you read about Virgos, and this isn't like when you get more into it, but like everything you read about Virgos is like, you go little planner, and it's like
that's kind of
I could not relate less than it's like you're just like can't wait to go tidy your space, and I'm like, please, that is not at all. And I think it took me a long time to find like where I do connect with like the Virgo.
Yeah, I think each sign has like a weird like stereotypical thing about them, and then it's kind of like, well, actually this is kind of what they're actually like. Like Cancers, it's like, oh, they're constantly crying, and it's like, yes, but like
yes and
yeah, but like it's not in the way that you think. And I feel like with Virgos, it's like I feel like they're more of like an emotionally tidy, like neat, like strict. I think it's more like a strict perfectionist in the way of like order and like your day and your routine and like I don't know.
No, yeah, I feel and I think
like your look kind of.
As I've gotten older as well, like I used to fully identify with Leos because I'm like when I was younger, I was not like. I also have I have like extreme ADHD, which I think like really messes up the whole Virgo thing because I like can't be on time. I don't know how, like there are all these things that I really never identified with, especially when I was younger and was like undiagnosed. And I just like really identified with like the free spirit, like center of attention, like always wanted to like be
sun,
totally and like pretty loud growing up, like pretty I don't know, very much like
Leos are fun.
Leos are really
fun. Leos are cool. Leos are fun. They're just like, I don't know. They're just gonna be like a baseline, fun, cool, easy to hang out with.
And I think I thought that I identified with that, and then I grew up. And now I take Adderall and have anxiety, and I'm like, oh, I am a Virgo. Anyway, wow, but you guys clocked me like that woman. I asked her to repeat. I gave her my number and we had really bad reception, and I said, do you want to just repeat that back to me so we can make sure that like you got it right? We were disconnected. She just goes, okay, Virgo. And I was like,
damn.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Yeah, those moments are so like electric when they happen in the wild.
Yeah. I'm so happy that like we guessed it right literally on the record.
You guys that's gonna be a soundbite. It has to be.
Yeah.
I wish we had some like videos so you could like see my reaction. Yeah, clocked.
That's
Me
awesome.
just saying that people don't usually get it.
I know.
We should have you should have like a who guessed my zodiac sign wall of fame in the studio.
Oh, so good.
Who guessed it correctly.
And it's just pictures of us.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get back to you guys.
Yes.
You explained it a little bit, but I know you guys are like a semi-recent band, and I'd love to hear like how you like truly came together.
Yeah, I guess I'll start and then I'll hand it off to you more.
Sure, yeah.
When you step in the picture.
Yeah, I'll just interrupt you.
I think I had always had the idea of being in a band for like since I was in like high school. I played drums first. But drums were difficult to like bring to a campfire, which is really like where my heart is. Like campfires are like my church. So and then when I went to college, it was like you can't really bring a drum set to a dorm. So I picked up ukulele. I was a ukulele girl in college.
Who wasn't?
Yeah, I was like 2017, 2015. So ukuleles were very in. So yeah, I did that. I wrote songs in ukulele. I performed a lot, and then I graduated. I went to school in New Hampshire. So when I graduated college, I moved to Vermont, and I stopped performing. Like I wasn't doing any theater or like music or like anything on stage, and my confidence like really, really went down, which is very like abnormal for me. And I started going to therapy, and then we figured out that I needed to be on stage somehow. Like just figure out a way to do that again, because that's where so much of my like identity, I guess, came from, and I was missing that. So then the pandemic happened, and then there was no like way to do that. But towards the end, like when the vaccine came out, I was like, okay, it's time. I need to figure out a way to like get out of this like depressive episode, and starting a band seemed like why not? And I at the time had also kind of like rediscovered / discovered for the first time a lot of like 90s Riot Girl punk and just like that whole scene, and started getting like really reinvested, and also discovering for the first time in some ways. And I was like, oh, these are like people that are a lot like me, like talking about things that I'm really passionate about. And I feel like there's a lot more going on today that I feel like I have something to say about, and people listen to you when you're on stage. So then I asked Morgan, and
so I didn't grow up performing. I did like a few plays in middle school, and I used to do historical reenactments. So that's which I actually
breakthrough.
I like remembered from the recesses of my mind recently.
And that's important to the origin
it's
story.
important to me, and honestly I'm trying to honor my younger self, so I'm saying that on the air. But so those were really fun, and then I just like completely forgot about it. I grew up, I started painting like when I was 12. I just started like making art in that way when I was 12. So I don't know, in my head I was always just like, you can't do both. Like I already paint, I don't play instruments, so I feel like painting was my instruments like for Ray. So yeah, we met in college, and then like a year and a half later we moved to the band. Should I go over like how we met? I guess that's helpful maybe to the origin story. I don't know. I don't want to
ask where in New Hampshire did you go to school?
We went to Southern New Hampshire University.
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess I can. I don't know.
I'm a New Hampshire girly.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we'll talk after.
Okay, so we'll talk about how we met like after. Sorry, I didn't know if I should.
I like it. Do you guys want to tell it?
Yeah, well, I'll finish. I'm sorry. Okay, so yeah. So around the time Ray was thinking about starting a band, I was going through a breakup and also like becoming more angry at like society and just angry in general.
She was radicalized.
And I was finding myself pretty much. Like I was figuring out who I was like in Burlington, in the world and whatever. And we were becoming better friends. And yeah, it just kind of like made sense. I feel like we both kind of like pushed each other to do it. Like the accountability, I guess, was like really helpful for me, and still is. But yeah, I was just feeling really angry and feeling really lost, and I was feeling like what can I do?
Yeah,
that's actually tangible, and then this was so. Yeah,
I love that. Okay, I want to talk about. We'll shift gears. I want to talk about the punk scene in Burlington.
Yes.
It is so cool that there appears to be this kind of undercurrent of, I want to say, like, more femme punk. And I'd like to be really transparent with you guys. I'm not very well versed in the punk scene. I like punk music. I enjoy your music. Like, I love seeing it live, but I'm not really an expert in that area of, like, Burlington music. And so I would love for maybe, like, the average listener, like, I'm out here playing Bon Iver on my radio show, like, maybe the audience might not be, I mean, I think some of it's there, but, like, for someone who isn't in the punk scene, can you guys explain, like, what it looks like in Burlington and kind of define that genre, if you would?
Yeah, I would love to. Well, I'll say that we're definitely not the only, like, non-cis men doing what we're doing in Burlington. And that actually kind of ties in pretty well with, like, what the event that we're trying to promote right now, FemFest. So we're having the other Burlington-based musician that's going to be joining us is Rangus. And they're really cool. They're a big part of the punk scene for Burlington, I'd say. There's, like, a new hardcore punk band that is all, like, femme, queer, trans people, and they are called Blossom, and they're really, really cool. But yeah, I don't know. I think it's hard because there's kind of, like, I would say, like, we're kind of towing the line between, like, the hardcore scene in Burlington, which is having, like, a really big moment right now, and then, like, I don't know, the softer,
kind of like the
rock
grungy rock, like,
because we kind of toe the line between, like, UVM bands too, because we're younger, but we didn't go to UVM, but
everyone thinks we
did.
did.
Everyone thinks that we did. We played a show in Philly, and one of, like, a house show, and one of the people there was like, "Oh, my friend like goes to UVM with you guys," and we were like, "We don't," but that's cool.
That's cool.
We're also old as hell.
I think
not in college.
I think that the like, thinking about punk and, like, the punk scene, and, like, you said, like, I'm not an expert or anything, like, you really don't have to be. You don't have to know. Like, so many of my friends, like, you know, our, like, guy friends will be like, "How do you not know this song? It's punk. You play punk. It's from this band."
Oh my
god. And I'm like, I don't know, and, like, I like, it's a good song, but I don't care.
Like, a lot of men who learned that we're in a punk band will, like, list off these, like,
I think
punk bands with a bunch of dudes in them,
like,
and we're like,
six,
sorry, no,
name 3 songs.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, bro.
It's just like, but I think it's just kind of like, at least at our shows, we just really want to, like specify that literally anyone is welcome, and if you have never been to a punk show, like, it's not, you know, you don't have to, like, mosh, and you don't have to do anything you don't want to do. You don't even have to stay for the whole thing if you don't like it.
Like, we don't really listen to, like, more hardcore than what I'd say, like, would classify us as, but we go to a lot of hardcore shows because they're really, really fun.
They're just fun. It's just cool to, like, see live music, and just the energy is always really awesome. Like, I don't particularly like moshing, but I like to hold Ray's jacket while Ray moshes, and I like to sit in the back and just vibe. And I'm just like, I don't know, you can just do whatever you want. I think that's kind of what's punk about our band, is we just do whatever we want. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's more about, like, the vibe
and
like, the message than it is, like, what we actually sound like.
Yeah, it's like, I think that we never want to be like, well, we have to sound like this because we're punk. We have to sound like this because we're feminists, or because we're women, or Burlington, or whatever. It's just like, just do whatever you want.
Yeah, I feel like that's very punk rock of you guys.
Thank you.
Yeah, I don't listen to punk that much, but I do use the term punk rock when describing things that are
as you
altered
should
against the grain. Like, that's like my favorite word to use. I'm like, yeah, it's so punk rock.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah. So cool. Yeah, I guess that's definitely, like, the whole, like, if you've never been to a punk show and you're interested and you're welcome, that's, like, times a million going to be at FemFest. We just want it to be, it's all ages.
Really cool.
You know, it's like,
what has it been like when you've played? 'Cause I know you guys have played, like, the Radio Bean and a couple of other like public venues, right?
Yeah.
What is that? How do you feel like you guys are received when you're playing somewhere where, like, people walk into Radio Bean on Friday night because they're just, like, gonna go, you know, that's like what I do, right? I'm not like, oh, I'm gonna, like, I mean, sometimes I am, but a lot of times I just, like, go to listen. I'm really curious what your guys' experience has been with that, with, like, a public venue.
It's funny because, like, I remember when we were starting a band and we were, like, looking at other similarly sized bands to us that were, like, playing similar music that had non-cis men in them, and they would share some of their experiences about like, oh, people always think that we're merch girls at the show, or they say these misogynistic things to us and blah blah blah. And we were starting the band like ready to like fight.
We were just kind of
fists
like,
are ready to go, and like people have been so nice.
People are like, I love you so much, you're so cool.
They've been really like affirming.
It's so funny. I that's, you read my mind right, because I was like, ready. I haven't, nothing's been said to me, I don't think, during a show or said to us that I've heard, or anything that's made me feel like uncomfortable. Yeah, which is cool. We've been well received, but people are definitely, I think it's kind of the area of like, oh, that was crazy, I wasn't expecting that. Yeah, but that was cool. Totally. You know, so
I think I know people have had bad experiences in the Burlington music scene, and I don't want to discredit that. It's very present. There are a lot of issues, but I do feel like there are some venues that I like love to go to and hear something that I've never heard of before, and like I don't know, I feel like there is a really nice current happening in Burlington where like people are, especially like the Radio Bean or something like that. Yeah. So many, like I played my first gig at Radio Bean. Like I just interviewed someone last week who played their first gig at Radio Bean. It's pretty cool that people will show up to a venue and like pay money to be in there and not expect anything other than like cool, good music. Yeah, I think that's like very refreshing.
Yeah. Burlington is just generally like, in my experience, and it's just generally, I guess, accepting / receptive / like, or respectfully leaving. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's never been
so like, you suck.
Like there's never been like a vocal like. Yeah,
which is so funny. Like that's like fully what I assume. You know, I like play. I put like full commute. You know what I mean? Like I just like meet a guitar, and I fully expected there to be like a comedy show heckler at my first gig. Like obviously, I'm just like catastrophizing.
I think Burlington is one of the best
like music
cities to like start a band and just see
what's up.
It wasn't like that. I used to live in Manchester, New Hampshire, and the
vibe
was not like that.
Like I think if we were to ever go on like a tour, or like a little tour, that's when I would be nervous-ish more than usual to like have like a heckle or something.
Before we talk about what's next for you guys, I want to talk about your single that's out. You guys have a single and a music video, and this is where it's editing. Emmy is gonna have some work to do, but we're gonna figure it out. We're gonna assign a sound to it, and I'm not sure what it is, but you guys put out a single in the fall of 2022,
October.
Called
for 14th, I think.
Yeah,
I'll fact check you right now,
because it was Friday the 14th.
October 14th.
Editing that.
That's
thing for
kind
Instagram.
of perfect. Okay, it's for horror, and it's, first of all, I'm looking at it right now, and I looked at it today. It's done incredibly well. Congratulations. I feel like tons of listens. Like, that's so impressive.
Yeah, we just hit like 10,000.
Yeah, you have 10,300.
Which is just so cool.
Yes.
That's so cool to think that people like regularly listen, even when it's not like Halloween.
Yeah, because we had like a big boom right when we released it, obviously. And it got put, I think Spotify put it on like a playlist too. So it ended up getting like discovered. So there was another big spike. And then it was really cool to see, like, after it dropped, like, it kind of plateaued, and it still is at that level of, like, pretty consistent. Like, I still listen to it.
Yeah.
And it was my number one most listened to song on Spotify last year, because I am my biggest fan.
Yeah. As you should be.
It's a good song.
Yeah. It is such a good song.
It's so good and catchy, and it just...
Yeah.
It also, like stands up. Like, I remember
we
listening...
Are so clever.
I remember listening to it when it came out, and I was like, ooh, Halloween banger. And then I was, like, listening to the car today, and I was like... Summer banger, like year-round banger.
I'm surprised that there's no. I feel like not that I've seen any other song on Spotify called that. And honestly, I'm like, damn. Yeah, beat them to the punch.
You guys really
figured it wasn't.
You really did something.
Yeah,
I feel that way about our band name too. Like when we looked up Burly Girlies to see if anybody had that handle on Instagram and it wasn't taken, I was like, oh my god, this is a gold.
We are so lucky.
Really, it's perfect. It's so catchy. Okay, so. Tell me about making for horror, and then tell me about the music video as well.
Yeah. So, I guess I'll start. So basically, before we even like met Emmett, we were writing songs, and we would just kind of sit and just riff and figure out what we wanted to write a song about. So it usually how we write is we come up with like a general idea, and this one was about like, wouldn't it be so cool to have a really cool song where we could like use a music video to basically be in our own horror movie because we love horror movies. And then we started writing about our love for horror movies to be like, I don't know, we weirdly worked backwards. And then it just kind of went off from there. We just we're like, what if this was from the perspective of the girl who's like the slutty one and doesn't care because she knows how it works, and she doesn't care anyway because she doesn't like want to change for this killer or whatever.
Yeah, there's like, it's funny because it's such a like silly fun song, but there's actual like real feminist theory behind it.
Big time.
There's this book called Men, Women, and Chainsaws. I forgot the author, but it's like assigned to like a lot of people studying film. I didn't study film, but I'm really interested in horror movies, so I've read through the book, and there's this really famous essay in it called her body herself or something like that, but it's all about slashers, and she kind of runs through the history of slasher horror movies from like the 1970s to like the right before Scream came out, which is like our favorite horror movie. But she talks about like the tropes and like what was going on and culturally at the time and what influenced this like trope to have like the promiscuous woman always like dies in the movie, and then the virginal like beautiful brunette like survives. And basically it's like society's response to like the sexual liberation movement of the 60s and 70s. Wow. And so like you think about who's making horror movies and who's watching horror movies is like men. And so they were wanting to send a message to young America that like having sex is bad, and also like being a woman and being feminine is bad. And you love that. And even more so, like the final girl was made because like they were making movies for men that like men wanted to watch, but they couldn't make the lead a man because in order to be a victim in a horror movie, like you need to be really vulnerable, and men are uncomfortable to see other men cry or like get hurt. So they had to make the final girl a woman, but they can't make her too woman because then men won't identify with her.
Yeah, that's still, I mean.
So they make her like a tomboy, and then she's like also
like, I'm not like other girls.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's like.
So we wrote the song that was just like, I don't want to be that.
I am like other girls.
I am exactly.
And I love being like other girls. And I'm not going to change.
And if that means that I die first, then so be it.
Yeah, screw you. Yeah. There's still, and it's so interesting because then it's kind of like, Final Girls, obviously, like, I don't know. It's interesting how like I love Final Girls. Like we relate to Final Girls, but there's that weird, like kind of like it was originally for men, but you know, women obviously love horror too. And so
cool. What do you guys think of the new Scream movie? Didn't that just come out?
We liked it. I liked it.
I like them all. Scream is like the franchise that I feel like every movie is good.
I think it's
okay. Good. I'm not familiar, but I just know. I'm like Jenna Ortega was in that.
Yeah. It's kind of like when you just like kind of give in to like the formula of it and just letting it be a movie. That's when it's fun.
Which is also good. Important. Like it's also okay, right? If we monitored, we would be watching no media.
It's kind of like when you're watching a movie and it's like they would totally be dead by now. It's like, okay, well that's not interesting.
Well, it's a movie, so
I mean, people are literally out here. It's like a fictional movie. It's like Harry Potter, and people are like, actually,
Well, just suspend your disbelief and have a good time.
Yeah, I'm having a fun time.
Yeah, exactly.
Jesus.
Really funny. Okay, I want to know what is next for you guys. I want you to be able to promote the festival that's coming up that you guys are playing, but tell me in general, like what is next, what's going on? Are you playing any more shows soon?
Yeah, the big one is FemFest. So August 11th, which is a Friday at Higher Ground. It's a show that we're putting on, which with the support of Higher Ground, which is really really cool. We'll be in the Showcase Lounge. So basically, it's like an event with to promote or celebrate underrepresented genders and gender expressions in punk. And so femme is kind of like the theme of the night, so to speak. But the bands that are playing and all the people attending obviously have like varying identities. You don't have to be a femme person to be a part of it. I had like one of my like cis man friends asked if he could go. I was like, yeah. That's so funny. we encourage people to sort of like dress however they want and feel comfortable, or if like think of it as like the Barbie movie premiere, but like with music.
Yeah.
Love. Okay.
You just like, this is your free range to like get a little funky, a little fun with it.
Love.
You know?
Okay,
Yeah.
so exciting. And that's Friday, August 11th, and I'm seeing online $10 in advance, $15 day of the show,
Yes.
all ages.
There are 5 bands that are going to play. So us and Rangus are the local bands that are playing. And then we invited a band from New Hampshire called Girl Spit, a band that we actually have played a show with before. They're named Shy Godwin. And then a band from New Jersey called Squelch.
Amazing.
So, yeah, that's going to be super fun.
Awesome.
And there's also a raffle that we're doing. So if you bring a donation to Steps Vermont, you can be entered into this raffle where you can win like one of, I think there's going to be a few different prizes, and then you'll also get an exclusive FemFest sticker if you bring donations.
Okay, very exciting.
Yeah, so you can find the what Steps like needs, like the needs list.
It's on their website.
Yeah.
It's like stepsvt.org.
Okay.
They're a domestic
ways to
violence
give.
shelter for Chittenden County.
We'll get the link as well
Yeah.
when we promote, so we can make sure
Yeah.
that people who are listening now can
Yeah.
go look at that and can get tickets if they want.
And I just wanted to say they update their needs list pretty often, so just kind of like make sure to check in on it, just so you bring something that they, will be able to use.
Awesome. Aside from FemFest, what's next for Burly Girlies? What are you guys up to? I'm assuming something. I feel like something's cooking.
Yeah,
Storms are brewing.
We need more music on Spotify, on our streaming platform. So we are like in pre-production for an album right now. So we have lots of songs that we've been playing. We've been performing now as a band for a little over a year. So we really need to get those songs that people have been hearing for so long out. So yeah, we're kind of at a lull right now because our drummer and I both have started new jobs. So music is not, unfortunately, my full-time job.
Same.
So
neither is
so yeah, we kind of stopped for a little bit, but we're hopeful that, I don't know, the end of the year seems like it's coming up so fast.
Yeah,
but at some point, if not by the end of this year, then early next year, having like an album.
So exciting.
Yeah.
Will you guys plug all of your stuff? Where can people find you?
Yeah, at Burly Girlies, BURLYGIRLIES. We're on Instagram. We're
Mostly
on
Instagram.
TikTok. We're on Twitter, which I guess is X now. But we don't use that. So Instagram mainly, if you want to keep up with us.
Instagram, that's where we post about all of our like shows, and we recently just had a new merch like design made by this lovely local artist. So
is that gonna be for sale?
Oh yeah,
yeah.
It's gonna be for sale we'll have them at Higher Ground. So if you want them, come get them.
Yeah,
exciting.
It'll eventually be available online too. But
Yes.
we make them ourselves. We have like a stamp that was made by a local artist called My
Yeah.
World.
Yeah.
And
So cool.
and so we just paint the stamp and then put it on the shirt.
Yeah.
And we thrift them all. So
And I'll shout out My World again. Like, feel free to check them out. My.world on Instagram. They have really cool designs too.
Awesome, fantastic. And you guys are on Spotify, Apple Music, all of the things, as
Oh,
well as
yeah.
Bandcamp.
Yeah.
Which I know.
and
check out-
YouTube.
Yep.
Yeah,
and
check
YouTube.
out
Amazon Music.
Literally everywhere.
Our for horror music video that Ray made.
Yes.
It's amazing.
Okay, amazing. Burly Girlies, thank you so much for
Thank
coming.
you.
Thank
I'm
you
like
for having
so
us. This is so
excited.
fun.
This happened. Hopefully we have a recording. I'll be devastated now if we don't. Thank you guys so much for coming out. Are you okay?